Nope.
How about now?
Nope.
How about oh? It's Mike. This is the very supreme broadcast of honor podcast, Drivecast, bitch. I'm riding down the road. I'm recording this shit. Listen to me now. I've got a show. I make it up as I go along, cause you know it is the best place to be to get your games, reality, and news. And my views, everything I'm saying right now is made up, just like the show. If you don't like it, shut up and just go. There's lots of people that like when I talk about things and stuff and such. That's the way I get shit done in this life. You should try it once. Maybe you'll get a whole pile of friends. Welcome to the very supreme broadcast of honor podcast, the Drivecast. My name is Mike. Welcome. Hope you're great. Hope everything in your life is awesome. Thanks for tuning in. Today's topic is mistakes. We all make them. We're human. You hear that a lot. Humans make mistakes. You know, you're only human. Everyone makes mistakes. Everything makes mistakes. Plants, I'm sure. Whoops, I shouldn't have grown that leaf. Now I have too many leaves and I won't have enough water for the rest of my leaves. I don't know. Do leaves make mistakes? Do plants make mistakes? I mean, I don't know. Anyway, we all do. And I thought it'd be an interesting topic to cover for the Drivecast. You're going to have to excuse me, my asthma's acting up pretty bad today. It's pretty rainy. So, this podcast is mainly about gaming, so I want to relate it to that. Of course, we make mistakes when we play video games. There's not too many people that can play a video game perfectly the way you'd have to if you wanted to beat the video game. The first time through, the fastest. There's people that do speed runs, try to do it as quickly as they can, and that really requires a lot of accuracy, but there's always going to be mistakes when you play video games, and video games count on that. Video games try to make you make mistakes in order to lose, but that's the fun part, right, is trying to do it perfectly or without mistakes. And something about video games, and if you have a YouTube channel or a broadcasting channel, your own business, or just in your life with relationships, or how you spend your time, there's all sorts of ways that we can make mistakes. You know, and some mistakes that we make, you can correct those mistakes quickly with minimal damage, minimal consequence. Other mistakes are permanent, lifelong, could be life-ending. So those are the two extremes, and then other mistakes might fall somewhere in the middle. The thing that spurred me to record this topic today is Sunday, or Saturday rather, and I just did a podcast. Wow. I just did a live stream, and I made the mistake. It was funny because a telemarketer called, and I'm like, I put him on hold, and I'm like, hey, can you just hang on a sec? I'll go get the guy you're looking for. Because he asked for my name, and I said, yeah, that's me. Can you just hang on a sec? No, I didn't. I said, yeah, I'll go get him. Unfortunately, that was my mistake, because then I'm like, you know what, guys? This is going to be really funny during the broadcast. I'm going to mess around with this telemarketer. I've done that before in real life, not on a broadcast. I like to mess with telemarketers sometimes in front of my friends because it's funny. So I went and got my phone that's right by me when I'm broadcasting is not, the speaker works, but the microphone doesn't work. So I went and grabbed a portable phone, and I'm like, this is going to be funny. And the first thing that the guy said was my full name. I'm like, oh, shit. It's too late. It's too late. So right there, I made a huge mistake because he said my name right into the broadcast. My full name, which has never been broadcast before, but it is in one of the YouTube videos that I released. My full name is in there, and I won't say which one, but it is. If you have the link, it's actually not a public video; it's an unlisted video. So if you have it, I did promote it though. Excuse me. Wow, asthma. Pardon me. Anyway, so yeah, that's what sort of made me think of this topic. Was the fact that today on the broadcast I had a telemarketer announce my full name on the broadcast. It's not a big deal. I freaked out a little at first, and then I'm like, whatever, just move on. It was in that one video that I released. It was it may have been broadcast before. But this was like clearly everyone was paying attention. There was like 100 people watching. Boom, there's my full name. Shit. Anyway, just don't stalk me. That's all I ask. Don't show up at my door. You know. That kind of thing. And it's not something to really freak out about too much. I mean, that was bound to happen eventually somehow. Someone would figure it out. I'm sure somebody out there already had my full name. But just, the only thing I ask is you respect my privacy, that's all. And the privacy of my family, and so on. Other than that, enjoy knowing what my name is, I guess. So that was a mistake, but what I wanted to talk about was the fact that mistakes are going to happen, and it's all about your ability to roll with it, being humble enough to know when you need to apologize for a mistake. Learning from your mistake is the biggest thing. Like, I probably won't put a telemarketer on the broadcast again. Maybe I will, but I'll make sure that they're done saying my name first. But so I've learned already from that mistake, and I've made plenty of mistakes. If we want to get specific about my mistakes, and specifically with the very Supreme Broadcast of Honor, we can talk about that. But one thing I wanted to mention was that even if you make mistakes, for every mistake you make, you probably did 100 things right. Do you know what I mean? Like, when was the last time I feel that I really messed up on the live stream in sort of a way that I'm like, oh, that was a mistake? I don't know. I can't remember the last specific time. These things happen, and provided that you didn't even if you did something really stupid, again, whether it's in your life, or if you own a business, or your job, or your relationship, or even just not playing video games, I guess it doesn't really apply, but just as long as you didn't do something at the extreme end of things, you can always apologize or make things right the best you can, and then move on. That's really what it comes down to. Some people get really hung up, and I know I do sometimes, on the mistakes that you make, but you have to have the strength to go, okay, I fucked up, I admit it. If I could do it again, I would have done it differently. Here's why I did it the way I did it. I'm sorry. And then move on with your life, because you're going to make more mistakes. Things might not always be the way you want them to be. There's not much you can do. I know on the very Supreme Broadcast of Honor YouTube channel, when Higgins and I were first making videos, we made a ton of mistakes. Just a ton of mistakes in video editing. Sound levels were all wrong. There were whole videos, and we didn't check them before we put them up. We just rendered them and then threw them up there because we wanted to as quickly as possible. Just get them up there and be done with it. So, sorry, I'm on the highway. I'm on a major highway right now, and man, do I ever have some pet peeves about that. People drive so erratically. Like, someone just passed me, and then I came up on a transport, so I wanted to go around it, and this guy's just like driving slower than me now, and it's like, why would you do that? Anyway, that's the Drivecast for you. Random driving commentary. But yeah, we made plenty of mistakes starting out, and I would say so far all the mistakes that we made when Higgins was in TVSBOH and that I've made since, they've all been forgivable, I hope. There's another thing I remember. When I did that big Twitter nuke accidentally, I went through, because I was a little bit behind, because for a year and a half, for a long time, I had gone in and thanked every single person on Twitter that followed with a message. Now, it was a copy-paste message, but I did it by hand, and I have like over 2,500 followers maybe. I can't remember how many I have, but that's a lot of messages, right? So I was actually behind by like 200 or more, and I went through and thanked every single one individually, and then I'm just like, at the end of it, people are like, why did you do that? I'm like, what do you mean? I've been doing that all along. They're like, yeah, but you just did 200. And the way that the message is structured, every single person that follows you sees it on their homepage. So basically everyone's Twitter homepage was flooded with messages from you thanking people. It looked like a spam bot. And I'm like, oh shit. I felt like such an asshole. So that was kind of a public relations blunder for me, you know. But I recovered. I apologized greatly to everybody. You know, people seem to be very forgiving. I probably lost some followers, and in turn lost some opportunities for them to watch the live stream or see my YouTube videos or to be a Patreon subscriber or anything like that. Join the new Minecraft server. So, you know, it was a mistake, and I probably lost out on because who knows which follower on Twitter might lead to some sort of other opportunity. You never know in business, and especially in this business. So, mistakes happen. I apologized. I was as humble as possible. I definitely learned from that. I've actually changed. And that's the thing. You can learn from something, but you actually have to implement that learning. You actually have to follow through with what you've learned. You can learn it and then choose to ignore those teachings, or you can learn and better yourself or your business or your relationship or whatever through that learning. And you have to be humble enough to do it. I was just like, okay, I'm sorry. I apologize for that. I obviously didn't understand what I was doing would nuke everybody like that. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. I'm stupid. You know, it'll never happen again. And I'm making sure it never happens again. Now, I don't actually thank anyone for following at all. I feel bad about it, but I knew there was going to be a day when there would just be too many people following on a regular basis. And same with Twitch and same with YouTube. I used to do that same thing. I would hand paste. I know that's not writing out a personal message to every single person, but I would copy and paste messages to every person by hand. So if you've been around for a while, you probably got one of those messages. And it was just like a little promotion thing. I'd list all the other links. I thought it was just good business practice, and people seem to appreciate it. I definitely got some more cross promotion of, you know, the YouTube and the Twitch and Twitter and Facebook and all that stuff. I got them all cross-pollinated through that message, and people would join the other things as well. But it's gotten to a point now where I can't do that. There's just no way. Although I felt it was really great personal service. It really was like, it let people know that I was more than just an unfollow bot, you know, like the unfollower.me message that you get from people. And I'm not really complaining about that, because I thought about doing that myself. But I'm just saying, like, I wanted people to know that I was a real person. I was personable. Even though it was a copy-paste message, I did it all by hand for a long time. But like I say, it's just gotten to the point now where I just have too many followers per day. I'm not bragging, I'm just saying that's why I stopped doing it. So anyway, I learned from my huge mistake of that Twitter nuke. So now I've decided not to message anyone, because I can't keep up with it anyway. And if I tried to, I'd be nuking people. So yeah, I hope people understand why that I don't do that. I guess they wouldn't know. I guess if they were a new follower, they wouldn't know that I used to do that. Anyway, what I'm saying is I'm still here. The Very Supreme Broadcast of Honor is still going. People, there wasn't a massive exodus of people. There were some people that left, I'm sure. I know that one person complained. They're like, tell me when TVSBOH stops spamming the shit out of my wall, and maybe I'll refollow them, maybe not, kind of thing. So, but that's okay. Like, mistakes cause damage or consequences usually, because if they didn't, they wouldn't be a mistake. You might lose some opportunities or whatever, but life goes on, you know? Life's too short to worry about one mistake. Unless, again, see, there's that higher end of mistakes where you did something completely intentionally. It wasn't an accident. Because there's mistakes you make, like you made a bad choice, but you still did, like you hurt somebody intentionally, or you stole something from somebody, or you sabotaged somebody, or you hurt someone physically with your choices on purpose. That's a mistake, but you're also a dick, maybe, you know? There's different levels, I suppose, when you really get down to it. If you've never heard a Drivecast before, I'm making all this up as I go. All I have is a topic when I start. That's it. I just think of a topic and record. I'm just rambling off the top of my head. Anyway, so those are some examples of things that I've done with YouTube and live streaming. I've made some other choices where, I've chosen people to try to partner with. See, when you do YouTube and Twitch or live streaming, it's really good to form partnerships, okay? Collaborations is really the word I'm looking for. Collaborations, because partnerships would be like what Higgins and I had, and that's fine too, because it helps relieve some of the burden of the work that you're doing. But what I really mean by what I was saying, was collaboration. It's really good to do collaborations. Dual streams or collaboration videos, dual commentary videos as they're known, or multi-commentary or multi-streams with a bunch of people, because it benefits everybody, all right? When we do, at the end of a TVSBOH stream, when we do a raid, that is, it's a mutual situation, okay? I know that some streamers don't like it, and sometimes I feel like almost like an asshole, because it's an attention thing in a way. I'm doing it to drop my viewers off with someone that I think is cool. That's first and foremost. I want the people that are watching me to continue having a good time if they were having a good time. So I choose somebody that I think that they'll enjoy. Hopefully they'll follow them too. So then from there, so they go in, that we all do the big raid. What happens is it forces that, they don't have to, but they'd kind of be a dick if they didn't say at least thank you one time, but it kind of forces that broadcaster, so you're interrupting them, which is rude in a way, but you're also giving them followers, right? Like today we had the best raid we've ever had, and I don't know, I saw like maybe 30 or 40 TVS BOH Supreme Raid of Honor raid. I saw that, and thanks for that to those people that helped that raid. We raided Brotato, who's another Canadian broadcaster. I just love that guy. I subbed to him right after, because recently I've started to subscribe to people on Twitch to support them, because it's such a great platform, and I want them to know that I support them in what they're doing. And again, stuff like that helps with, hopefully they'll support me in what I'm doing. They know that I'm a broadcaster. Pretty much everyone I subscribe to knows that I'm a broadcaster, and I'm not just subscribing to them so that they'll mention me or they'll support me, but I want them to know that I support them because I enjoy their streams. But anyway, when you go in and do a raid, it forces the broadcaster to acknowledge you and put the spotlight on you away from them a bit. again, I kind of feel like a dick, but it's the industry standard. It's what you do, and it makes sense because it also, like, one person who came over in the raid with me to the Brotato channel subscribed to them, and that's great. You know, it's a wonderful thing. It's mutual in a way. It's a forced mutual situation. Like Brotato, he's an awesome guy anyway, but when you raid somebody, they're like, oh, thank you for the raid, everyone go follow that person, or go check out their channel, please. And at least if they say that, then it becomes a mutual situation. I've definitely raided people before that I will never raid again. And that seems like a dick thing to say, but at the same time, it is sort of an industry standard. And if you don't like raids, if you don't want people raiding you because you feel they're just doing it for attention, or you find that it's an interruption to what you're presenting to your followers, or you feel that they're trying to just steal your followers, that's fine. Like, that's your opinion. But if someone raids you, it's polite to at least say, hey, thank you very much for bringing your followers over here or your viewers over here. I really appreciate that. So in my opinion, some broadcasters make the mistake of not acknowledging a raid or not saying thank you. Now, there's some standards around raiding, and maybe that's another podcast topic, but it's at least, you know, it's a mutual thing. So what did this have to do with mistakes? We raided him? I don't know. Well, that's great. I love when I forget my point. But anyway, I think that it's a good thing to rate other people. I don't know why the hell am I talking about that? I got off on a tangent, which happens on the Drivecast. Remember, this is not a researched podcast or a prepared podcast. I'm just making it up. And if you're talking to me in real life, I do this all the time where I can, as you can hear, I can talk for hours. You just give me a topic and I'll talk about it. And then I get off on a tangent with a good point that I think is a good point, and I forget to bring it back around. Fuck. You've heard it though. You know where I was going with that, probably. I hope. Maybe I made my point. I don't know. I'm trying to remember. I don't know why I was talking about that. But anyway, mistakes happen. See, I just made a mistake. I just made a mistake on this podcast. But I'm going to move on, because what am I going to just sit here until I try to remember? Am I going to stop the recording, go back and listen to the whole thing, and then splice it back in? No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. You know, I made a mistake. It was an accident. I didn't mean to lose the point. I'm sorry. And I'm going to move on. And hopefully you'll keep listening. So yeah, mistakes will happen in life. You can... Now, sometimes mistakes are hard to repair, especially when it has to do with a relationship. I know what I was talking about at one point there. Partnerships, that's what it was. See? Brain, I love you, Brain. You're the best, Brain. I love you, Brain. You know, it's funny. There's a dog. There's a dog in front of me, not driving the car, but there's a guy in a truck. There's a guy driving a truck, and he's got a dog that's in the back, you know, the small back seat of a truck. And he's like in the driver's face giving him kisses. It's like a bigger dog. That's awesome. I love that. Now he's petting him. Oh, that doggy loving. That sounded rude. That's not what I meant. There's another mistake. No, I didn't mean to do that sexually. That sounded rude too. But anyway, I didn't mean to do that sexually. Hey. But what I was talking about was partnerships and collaborations, and I've definitely made some... I've tried to make some good not partnerships, collaborations. I've tried to do some good collaborations before. That's why I was talking about Brotato. That's a mutual collaboration. It's sort of forced though, because when you raid somebody, it forces them to collaborate with you and share each other's followers. You're sort of forcing that on them. But there's other ways you can do collaborations with people like from YouTube and stuff like that. I know that Higgins and I tried to collaborate with a few people, and it turned out to be a mistake. Like, they were either complete assholes, or went back on their word or whatever. So that's a mistake on our part. It was a mistake on my part for choosing to, like, it was bad judgment in a way. Sometimes you have to take risks, and that can lead to it being a mistake in the end, but you don't know that until something bad happens sometimes. I personally go out of my way, and again, I don't want to sound like a dick, but I go out of my way to support other streamers, other YouTubers. I really try hard, and as I'm getting busier and busier with TVSBOH, it gets harder and harder to support as many people as I try to support. So I know sometimes I probably miss people who would appreciate my support or who I've supported in the past. And for that, I apologize. That's not really a mistake. It's just I don't have the time or the resources to be able to do that anymore. I still try, like, at the very least, if you tweet something at me that you feel is important, I will probably retweet it. Unless you're like spamming me like every hour, like, hey, check out this video that I did, check out this video I did, check out this video I did, check out this live stream I'm doing right now, and this video, and hey, I'm working on this, can you link to this picture, can you retweet this, hey, I just wanted to say hello to everybody, hey, can you please retweet this? If you're like that, I'll retweet your stuff for a little bit, and then you'll see me just not do it anymore, because that's just kind of rude. That's a mistake. That's a mistake on your part. But I try to support as many people as possible. So if you think that I'm not supporting you anymore where I was before, I apologize. I try to support as many people as I can with whatever way that I can. I'll jump in people's live streams. I'll do raids on like people, even if you have a smaller channel. If I can only do one raid per stream, but I do as much as I can for others. But sometimes it does turn out to be a mistake to try to support some people because they never ever support you back, and it's kind of hard, right? Because I want to support people anyway, but if they don't even say thank you, and again, my biggest intention in life is not to sound like a dick, because I don't think I'm a dick, you know? I'm not a penis, but when I think it's a mistake to not reciprocate people's support for you. I mean, you don't have to, if someone raids you, you don't ever have to raid them back, as long as you just say, like, thank you. You know, that's it. That's all you have to say is, like, be a little bit enthusiastic and just say, hey, thanks a lot for the raid. You could have raided anybody. I appreciate the fact that of all the channels on Twitch, you brought your viewers here. Thank you very much. That's really all you'd have to say to acknowledge somebody that raids you. And that's it. You're even. You know? Or if somebody says, hey, go check it on Twitter or something. Hey, go check out my buddy, this person. They're streaming right now. That's really cool. As long as you at least put a blanket statement out there that says, oh my God, there's someone walking on the highway. Beautiful. Not on the road, but on the side of the road, like going for a big walk along the road. That's illegal here. You're not allowed to do that unless your car broke down or something. But anyway, yeah, as long as you acknowledge respect other people and support them, then you're not making a mistake. You're definitely doing the right thing, and you're not making a mistake. Because if you don't acknowledge other people's support for you, and I keep bringing it back to YouTube and Twitch because that's what I know, but anywhere in your life, if someone supports you in some way, is thinking about you and they show you that, or whatever, and you don't at least acknowledge the fact that they did that and tell them you're thankful and that you appreciate it, something like that, then you're making a mistake, and it makes it so that what they did was a mistake for them. Because they may never do it again. They may go, well, that was a mistake. I'll never put myself out there like that again. Or I'll never, bend over backwards for them again. Or I'll never do this thing for them. Or I won't even support this that they do again. So sometimes people slip through the cracks when you have a large following, or if you're busy in your life or whatever, depending on whatever the situation you're applying that to, you can't always, you can't, like sometimes you miss people, and that's a mistake. But if someone brings it to your attention, then you can correct the mistake by saying that you're sorry and, hey, thanks, I really did appreciate that, and just explaining what happened. Like, I'm sorry, I didn't get to thank you for that. Thanks for bringing it to my attention. I really did appreciate it, though. I was just so busy. Thank you. As long as you do that kind of thing, that's how you can correct that mistake. Again, relationships are harder. Like I was saying, I've supported some people in the past heavily. Like there was one YouTuber that I supported quite a bit, and when they started, they actually had way less followers than I did, way less subscribers on YouTube, and I was supporting them. I was retweeting every video they did. I had them as if you go to a YouTube channel, most times along the top right or along the right hand side, they have other YouTube videos they want, other YouTubers that they want you to check out, other YouTube accounts that they think are good. Usually they're friends, and usually that's a mutual thing. They put each other on there to help each other out. So it's kind of like rating in a YouTube sort of a way. Recommended channels by the channel owners kind of thing. So I did that for them. I even did a couple videos with them, just trying to get people to check out their channel. And then and they didn't do a whole lot back, but I was okay with that because they were thankful. They said thank you a couple of times. I appreciated that. We talked on a personal level a few times. We were, kind of forming a friendship. They were a good person, and I wished them well and supported them as much as I could. But then what happened was they got big. They actually kind of got big. They just exploded. Their channel exploded for a few reasons that I know and I've talked about before. But they didn't continue. Like, I still continued to support them. I liked their videos. I retweeted their videos for them. I talked about them, and they just sort of cut me off in a way. Like, I sent them messages, they stopped responding to them. I know they're busy, but there was enough contact still there, even on Skype and things like that. I definitely didn't do anything to offend them that I know of. I'm not like that. I never do anything to I don't trash talk people or anything. I don't know why they'd be mad at me if they are. But I think they just got big, and they just sort of they're busy, and again, I understand that, but there was no hey, you know what? I'm going to be really busy from now on. I probably won't get to any more of your messages. Thanks for your past support. Cheers. If they had said that, it would have been fine, but they stopped. So what happened there, I think that's their mistake for not at least saying hey, you helped me get to so many subscribers. A bunch of your earlier YouTube watchers, you had them come over and watch my video, my channel. They subscribed. Thank you so much. Thanks for all the support. I'm not going to be able to respond to personal messages anymore, or I'm not going to be able to thank you for your retweets, whatever, but thank you so much. That would have been fine. And then all of a sudden they removed my channel from their list of channels, and it wasn't because they ran out of room. Now they only had 3 really huge channels listed there, and they took my channel away. Anyway, I sound a little bitter, and that's probably because I am. Brutal. So anyway, the mistake there was, I guess it wasn't a mistake. I felt good about supporting them, and I still think they have a good channel, but because there was just sort of this snubbery going on, I think that was their mistake, Anyway. But yeah, there's lots of different mistakes you can make. Just apologize for them if you realize, fuck you, thanks for not coming over into my lane, you piece of shit. Dipshit, fucking stay in your own fucking lane, dude. Man. Asshole. Man. When people fucking do that, I've talked about that before in a Drivecast. When people like come over into your lane when you're driving, it's like, are you fucking insane? Look before you try to come into a lane. Like, I was literally, that guy would have sideswiped me. Fucking dick. Anyway, not sure if I have too much more to talk about on that. If you make a mistake and you don't know how to correct it, ask somebody for help. You know? Ask people for advice on how to make sure you don't make that mistake again. I've done that before when I've made mistakes. You know? Ask for forgiveness and be humble. Ask for advice. Oh, you pointed out I made a mistake. Thank you so much. You know, do you have a way that I could do that better next time, or that I can't make that mistake? Maybe my whole apologetic attitude is because I'm Canadian. I don't know. Or maybe it's just my personality. But I definitely don't ever want to offend anyone or hurt anyone's feelings. Or I guess that's just me. But yeah. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I could talk about around that topic. I don't think so. But thanks very much for tuning in today. This has been the Drivecast. My name is Mike. I'm the very supreme broadcast of honor. That's me. Check out all the links. Right now you're on youtube.com/TVSBOH, twitter.com/TVSBOH, facebook.com/TVSBOH. Don't forget about twitch.tv/TVSBOH. That's the main focus for me right now. Got that live stream going on. We're almost at 4,500 followers. We're getting there. And then the next stretch after that is partnership. That's what we're aiming for after the 4,500. We'll get there. We'll get there. So go over there, check it out, hit the follow button there. It's all good. If you guys have any comments at all about this podcast, if I made any mistakes in this podcast, or you just want to talk about any sort of mistakes you made in your life, share your stories, any advice you have for me about the podcast, anything like that, please feel free to leave it in the comments below, or you can always email me at tvsboh@gmail.com. We also have a Minecraft server now. If you go to mc.burritocraft.org, that's not a website, that's the Minecraft server address. Put that into your Minecraft server area. It's a free Minecraft server for everybody. Jump on in there, have some fun. We have some good mods. We have PvP and PvE areas. It's a lot of fun. See you later, guys. Thanks for listening. We'll catch you next time. Burritos. Podcast is over, and I was glad that you were here. If you ever need to pick me up, just send us a tweet or watch our videos or live stream, or just sing this song. I like burritos, I like burritos, I like burritos, man. I like burritos, I like burritos, that's the end of the podcast.